All right, looks like it's on. Hey guys, Mike with oh yes, clap louder so I f***ed up my audio. Well done, Mike. Hey guys, Mike with Become the Night. Today I am gonna do something a little bit fun for me. I am going to be using a random, oh yeah, by the way, what's going on with my hair? What's happening? I just took a shower so that you guys could actually see a real time lapse to prove it is a real time lapse of me trying to write this song in real time. I'm gonna be using a random number generator to give me the numerator of my time signature. So it's a randomly generated time signature. Based upon what I get, I'm going to flip the denominator based upon how I want to kind of move it along. So if I get like a 4, it could be 4-4, I could make it 4-8, I could make it 4-16. I have never done anything like this before, so we'll see what happens. I'm gonna be using my line 6 helix just for ease of everything. If I was using my Friedman right now trying to get a decent tone out of it, it would just, all of this would be a disaster, especially in this room. So all right, let's go ahead and do that random number generator. All right, let's generate some numbers here. 3, easy enough. If I could write 3 properly, that'd be amazing. 12, all right. 14, good. 6, oh dude, this is gonna be easy. Come on, give me something weird. 14, come on, don't be a bitch. Give me something weird. 16, oh, I already know what I'm gonna do with that. 18, oh, maybe I don't know what I'm gonna do with this. 19. 12. Oh, this is gonna be okay. This is like going to one place and now it's gone completely another. And we'll do one more for good measure, no pun intended. Did it just generate 12 again? I clicked it. We'll try it again. 18. All right. Wow. Okay, it was starting off really promising. Now it's just like, So I'm gonna choose the denominators of each of these measures as I see fit, which, let's be honest, most of these are either gonna be 8 or 16. All right, I have my numbers written down here. Let me get set up here with my guitar. All right, so since 3 is first on my list and I'm going to be writing a metal type song, probably in the prog realm, I'm thinking I'm going to develop some of these other phrases first and then come back to that, because I'm thinking with that I could make it like 3-2 or just like a but not like that, fuck it, that's awful. Something like that. So 12. Okay, so that could be a phrase there for the 12. Something like that maybe. 7, 8. So we got 6 more after that. Okay, I think the phrase would be something like this. And then we got 6 here, so I might do 6-4. Keeping it simple so we can still keep this digestible. I do always like doing those minor 7s, as I'm sure you hear in my writing all the time. Then we get 14 again, so I can repeat that phrase again, I think. Yeah. And then I can go back to a 4-4, because that would be 16-8. Yeah, that might actually work. Oops. If I can play this thing, it's gonna be a biatch to play. Then we need the 6 in there still. I'll just make the bass do a 6. It's fine. That'll work still. Yeah, it feels nice. I think that's where I'll go with it there. And then we go to 16. So I'm gonna turn that into a 4-4. Let's do a diminished right there. just do this. Yeah, fuck yeah. Oh, it feels great. Cool. All right. So we are halfway through this progression. Now we need 18, 19, 12, 18. So 18. I can make that 18, 8, but I can double it up to 16th notes. So that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That could be pretty cool. I don't know how this is all gonna work together. Let's see here, and 12, and then 18 again. This is not gonna have a satisfying conclusion. All right, I need a break. And then 12. That could be cool. So this is turning into more of an intro than it is a song. And then an 18. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. No way. All right, so I think in total what I'm going to do is, first of all, call this a damn intro. But secondly, I am going to lay this out here outside of the context of being perfectly in time, because there's no way I'm going to be able to do that right now without having practiced it a little bit. And then I'm going to toss something together here later this evening that we can turn into a cool little thing. And you know what? Maybe in a next video we can like finish it up with a different way of trying to like randomly generate something. All right, see what I can come up with here. So hey, quick realization on my part, this whole thing if I bump that up to 16th notes like I anticipate I was supposed to, there's no way I'm gonna be able to pull that off with going in between strings in that pattern. So I slightly altered it a little bit here by doing a stretch. Hey, so it is much later in the evening than I anticipated. I spent a little bit too much time on the phone with a friend. We kind of came up with a potential idea of another channel to make, but that's besides the point. Either way, so I came back after laying down some things on the DAW here because I wanted to get an idea of what the hell this is actually going to sound like without me having to sit here and math it in my head. And I kind of hate it and wish it should die in a fire. Yeah, I despise the hell out of that. That's awful. So I think the next step for me here is to listen through each of these parts now and think to myself what I despise about it and try and make it a little bit more melodic in some places, kind of bring out a little bit more of the phrasing, because that's pretty much just me literally making shit up off the top of my head and trying to do something that's just like gross. And I mean, I accomplished something gross, but not like in an interesting, fun one to listen to it gross, just as like a kind of cringy bit of gross. All right, it is the next day and I still hate this thing, but what I did was I tried to give it a rhythm track underneath some of the more melodic parts to give it a little bit more context. And this is what I have so far. So yeah, I still hate it. I will say that obviously the performance on this is not very good because I'm literally learning how to play it as I write it, so that really lends itself to not being that great. So my next step here is going to be throwing in some drums to kind of add some context, which honestly in hindsight should have been my first move before ever going to guitar parts. And then maybe lay down some of the absolute worst bass guitar known to man, and we'll see how it comes out. Alright, I got the drums written down and I re-recorded some of the guitar parts and doubled up the rhythm and altered a handful of things here. But now I'm gonna lay down the bass, which this bass has probably the shittiest bass tone I've ever heard in my life. Hear that wonderful crackle? That's the crackle of quality. This bass is in perfect condition. Alright, so I just finished composing. I'm gonna do a really quick, awful mix, and then this is what it sounds like. Alright, so let me take you through my thought process on this. When the first part was a 3, I was like, I could do a 3/8 note phrase or a 3/4 note phrase, but I don't know. If I'm doing a metal thing, it's not gonna be, I chose metal because it's easier for me to just kind of generically create really quickly. If it was just a 3/8 note phrase, which is the first thing that popped into my head, I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to swing that as the intro to a metal song or not. And I was like, I could just do 3 whole notes and just make this big, very Black Sabbath-y feeling type of thing. Wasn't sure what to do with the 12, so I was just like, we can use that as kind of like our guiding thing before we actually hit our main theme. And then I got a 14, a 6, a 14, and a 16, and I thought to myself, that actually can work because I can have a statement, an after statement, if you will, kind of like a response to that, restate that statement with that 14 again, and then do a different type of response the second time around. So I took that 6 and I was like, I could do a 6-note phrase, or I could make it 6/4 instead of 6/8. I took the 16 measure phrase afterwards and I turned that basically into 4/4 or 16/16. It's the exact same thing. So the whole idea here is trying to build some familiarity with what we're listening to, because if I made each of these measures completely different, it would just sound like a mess. The whole idea is to give you some harmonic and melodic content that repeats somewhat, so that you can grasp onto it easier. As much as I talked shit about repetition in that one video from Vox, repetition is an important element to music. So since an 18-note measure is obnoxiously long, and I don't know many people who actually write in an 18-note phrase, I kind of, I guess, technically broke it up into 2 measures. First one being a count of 4, the second one being a count of 5 if we're talking about quarter notes, which would make it 18 eighth notes. And then I just repeated that exact same thing, added the pinch harmonic at the end for the 19th. And then 12 and 18, I had considered doing a restatement of 18-note measure from before, but I kind of hate that melody a lot. So the last 2 measures, I kind of just took us out with whatever the hell I wanted to. When I saw 12, I thought we could make this interesting by splitting it up into groups of 3. So you have 3/8 notes with the 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 with those chords. Banana 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 diddle 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 doo doo. And then the 18, I was just like, I'm just gonna make something up. And then originally I had written it in 1/8 notes with that run, and that was really, really boring, and I wasn't quite fast enough to pull off 16th notes, so I did some triplets. That was basically just to try and make it a little bit more melodically interesting. So yeah, altogether, I don't really like it. I think there's some interesting things about it, and I could probably pull some ideas from this and actually make a song out of it, but Is this a way to actually write a good song? Absolutely not. This is terrible. Don't ever do this. I am not remotely prog enough to use this and actually come up with something coherent. Yeah, it was still fun and a giant pain in the ass at the same time. What'd you guys think? So what did you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. If you like this video, if you like what I do on this channel, please support me on Subscribestar. That is the only way I can keep doing YouTube videos. And you can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Become the Night. Thank you guys so much for watching. See you in the next video. Rock on!